Hello there, Libra. Thank you so much for stopping by for your weekly tarot video forecast for the week of February 8th through February 14th. Before we get started, I do want to let you know I have one more group mentoring session that is scheduled as of right now. That's February the 28th at 6:30 Mountain Time PM. You guys can Google the time difference from wherever you are and figure out what time that would be for you right now if you're interested in that. For those of you who are interested in that, and also for those of you who are interested in participating in a group mentoring session where you can learn to expand your own psychic or intuitive abilities, please contact me. Just check out my website and you can find contact information right there. If you want to be a part of the one that's already scheduled, let me know so I can get you in there. I do still have 2 slots open for that one. And if that time does not work for you, but you would like to participate, let me know that too, and we'll open up another one and we'll just ask other people if they would like to join at that point. So that's the announcement. Libra, let's get into your reading. I've got to tell you, usually I don't really look at the cards as I lay them down. This time, for whatever reason, I looked at the cards as I laid them down and just went, oh my goodness, you guys have a major theme for this week. And that theme has to do with, I would say, probably your love life, although this may have to do with something at work as well, but I'm not really leaning that way. I think for most of you, this is going to be love life. So let's just jump in here. On Monday, what you've got showing up as the devil. And the devil card tells me that you are facing some fears on Monday. So for some of you, I feel like that the fears that you're facing might have to do with that love life, or they have to do with the situation that's coming up. And I feel like there are some truths that you have not been looking at. You've been kind of sweeping under the carpet because you haven't really wanted to think about what are the consequences of these truths going on. And I feel like these truths are things that you're seeing not because people are showing them to you, but because you're astute, because you pick up things quickly. I feel like, yeah, like you're picking up on information, you're picking up on red flags and whatever this situation is, and you're just trying to not pay attention to it. But I feel like on Monday, I feel like you're seeing some of these red flags and you're like, you know what, I really need to think about this. This is not something to just poo-poo away and pretend that I don't see it. So it's interesting because with getting that on Monday, I've got confirmation actually already coming up on Tuesday's card. This is the Seven of Swords, and the Seven of Swords in this situation to me talks about secrets, deception, illusion, sneakiness, somebody not telling the truth, hiding the truth. So this is telling me that wow. And I keep thinking about that this is either a romantic relationship or some kind of relationship or a work situation. So because I keep thinking both of those, I'm going to say that for some of you it's going to be a relationship, and for some of you it's going to have to do with where you're employed and the relationship with the supervisors there or with the other people there. Okay, so there's some kind of deception that's going on, and I feel like on Tuesday, you kind of catch something going on red-handed. Maybe you overhear something in the break room. You know, maybe you're just like getting ready to walk into the break room and nobody sees you yet, but you hear people talking, and what they're talking about directly impacts you. Maybe this is something that, you know, you catch your partner in a lie, and I'm hearing in a blatant, bold-faced lie. I mean, this is something that's kind of undeniable, and yet I feel like this person's may stand in front of you and totally try to deny it anyway. But definitely, there's some deception that you're catching somebody in on Tuesday, Libra. It looks to me like Wednesday, what we have coming up, and this may actually happen on Tuesday, I'm feeling like for some of you, but on Wednesday, you've got the the Eight of Cups coming up. I almost said the Eight of Cards. You've got the Eight of Cups coming up, and you can see this man is walking away from a situation. Basically, this is somebody who has realized that they're putting more into a situation than they're getting back from the situation, and they're realizing that, you know, it just doesn't feel like it's worth my effort for what I'm getting back in return for this. And so they're walking away from that situation and looking for a situation that is going to be more of a two-way street, more of an even exchange. And so this is, I've seen this happen in employment situations as well as relationship situations. So here's what makes me lean more towards the majority of you having it as a relationship situation, though, is because Thursday looks like you have the Two of Cups in reverse. So this is telling me that on Thursday, whatever that situation is that you walk away from, I feel like that person and you sort of get into it. You are exchanging words in a negative way. I don't feel like this clears the air or makes anything better. This is really talking about more of a stalemate. Like, okay, well, you don't believe me. There's nothing really I can do about that, but you're wrong. And you're like, well, I just don't believe you and I don't think I'm wrong, blah, blah, blah. So you've got a stalemate going on Thursday and it feels like it is with that person or that employer that you walked away from on Wednesday. So you either quit your job on Wednesday or you said, you know what, I'm done trying with this relationship on Wednesday. Something like that happened. This other person is coming back. And I feel like they're trying to pull you back into the situation, whether it's employment or whether it's the relationship. But at the same time that they're trying to pull you back, they're not taking any accountability for any of their actions that weren't respectful of you or weren't good for you or basically really actually just dragged you down and had a negative impact on you. So they're not taking any accountability for that, and yet they want you to come back. And so that's where the stalemate is that you know that it's no good to come back into that same situation just the way it was. So even though they want you back, and that's kind of flattering, they're not willing to meet you halfway. So that's what's going on Thursday. And on Friday, I'm not really quite sure how all of this ties in, except I feel like you may be finding out even more of what was going on. We've got the falling tower that shows up on Friday. And the falling tower just talks about something that you thought was secure and that you could count on for a long time, maybe indefinitely, has been just suddenly just like removed from your life, suddenly and unexpectedly. To me, this really tells me what I'm feeling like is that this kind of ties into that whole Seven of Swords that you had on Tuesday. I feel like after you walk away, after you get into the stalemate situation, I feel like you find out more information about things that were going on that you didn't know about, that you didn't see those red flags because they weren't on the surface for you. Other people saw them, other people knew about them, but they were kept hidden from you. And so I feel like you're finding out even more information about what was going on, and you're realizing that that situation that you walked away from was actually worse than what you thought it was. For an example, I experienced this after I got divorced from my first husband, and I basically divorced him because he didn't want to be in a monogamous relationship, but he didn't want to tell me that that's not what he wanted. And so he was sneaking around and doing stuff. And what happened after we split and we had decided we were going to get a divorce is all of the people that I had met that were his friends that could have been my mutual friends, but they weren't. They kind of pulled away. I found out that a lot of times the reason they pulled away was because they saw him doing these inappropriate things, disrespectful things to our marriage and to me, and they couldn't be around me and keep that secret. And so as soon as our separation became official, these people were coming at me in droves, telling me about things that had gone on and things that had happened. And to be honest with you, it was a little bit overwhelming to find out what was really going on and how much worse it was than I really thought it was. So I'm feeling like there's a similar situation for you with this falling tower where all this information is just coming to you that was not revealed before, that people didn't feel like they could share with you before. And like I said, you're just realizing that the situation was a lot worse than anything that you could have had an inkling about based on what was being presented to you previous to this. Okay, so the next thing that comes up is on Saturday, we've got the Queen of Coins. The first thing that I'm feeling off of this woman, first of all, I don't feel like she's you. I feel like this is somebody in your life, and I feel like this is somebody who is who you are kind of going to for comfort, or she is coming to you to comfort you. For some of you, this is actually going to be your mother. For some of you, this is just going to be a good friend that you're going to be hanging out with. And the Queen of Coins is somebody who is pretty secure in herself in a lot of different ways. And she likes to make other people feel comfortable around her. So it makes a lot of sense to me that she would be offering you some kind of comfort. She may even be saying, hey, why don't you just hang out with me for a day or two? Why don't you hang out with me for the weekend, and we'll see what kind of stuff we can get into. And she may be trying to distract you from all this other stuff. She may be trying to help you process all this other stuff, and just trying to give you a place where you can be, where you know that there's a shoulder to lean on as all this information is sort of processing its way through you. Let's see. Sunday. Yes, we finally have a good card for you guys. The good card is the Ace of Clubs. This tells me that you have some kind of inspiration about something that you can do, some kind of action that you can take. So if this was a career situation or a job situation, this would be a new idea about a different direction that you can go with your career or with your job. If this was a relationship situation, I feel like this idea still could be about a career or a job or a hobby, some new direction that you can go, something that you can do that will take the focus off of the fact that, okay, that kind of blew up. And this also could be a new inspiration about what you really want from relationships, or how you want to handle things that come up. Maybe you have a new inspiration about, what am I going to do about red flags the next time when I see them? Instead of sweeping them under the rug, what am I going to do to acknowledge them and take care of those? Because I don't want to get myself this deeply into a situation again. So the next time I see a red flag, I want to take action. So there's all kinds of different ways that this inspiration could play in, but I do feel like no matter how it's playing in, that it's really a good thing for you. It's the beginning of you sort of getting your breath back and getting back up on your feet after this event, whether it was employment or a relationship. Either way, it's kind of you picking yourself up and getting ready to move on, starting to move forward. So it's really a good card. I'm glad to see that coming in at the end of the reading. I would not have wanted to end this reading on Friday, so that's a really good card to end the reading on. Thank you so much for stopping by here, Libras. I wish you all the best of luck as you're dealing with this situation in this week. And then also, I do want to point out, this is a general reading, so not everything I see is going to apply to everyone. If this doesn't resonate with you, don't worry about it. It's just not yours. Okay, so everybody, thank you for stopping by. If you have not seen my monthly tarot forecast, which I've done for the first time just as an experiment, go ahead and look for it, check it out. Let me know what you think of that format, because it's completely different. Everyone have a fantastic week, and I'll see you back here the next time. Peace out.